We're diving headfirst into the other side.
Why would we want to experience that? Why would we want to lean into that?
So the out-of-body state is, you could say, the direct path of accessing the other side. You access the multidimensionality of everything. You access the full spectrum. Let's just say the light spectrum. So you access everything. Thoughts, time, pass away loved ones, because things never die. You access the construct for what it really is. You see all things again, as if you were from the other side. You access your own records and things. So why would somebody want to do that? Well, it's an individual that truly desires to access things for themselves, truth for themselves, not hearing it secondhand from somebody. But then out of body is just it's not just a download. You are physically there. It's more physical than the physical body. Like you're walking around, you're interacting with it, touching it, etc. They call it the great work, and the great work is waking people up to the other side. And he said, because when you wake up to the other side, you wake up to everything. And so that's the word that they use on the other side when it comes to this realm that we're within here, of the work that some souls are doing, which is waking people up to the other side, which is considered the great work there. I'm not necessarily saying that in a way like Darius is here to do the all great work. So many people are doing it, not just me. I'm just sharing it based off of, you can access the other side through the out-of-body state very successfully if you do it properly. Some people are waking people up to the other side through their near-death experiences. So there's a broad of different people doing what is considered the great work, and they are all tuning every single soul based off, because certain people are going to align with me, and I'm going to act as a tuning fork based off where they're at. Same with everybody else. So everybody's using tuning everybody else, tuning their frequency just to wake something up within them. Yeah, that's the thing. I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm fully aware now of what I should be doing. And that's why I said before, I know that my frequency is acting as a certain tuner to individuals based off where they're at. Because if someone is, let's just say if someone is 20 steps behind me in terms of my consciousness of where I'm at now, I may not be the right person to help tune them, just because it will be too much. It's too much information all at once. Yeah. But someone else, based off their certain experience level, they may only be 3 steps behind, and then it's like they tune them to step up, and then it just, everybody moves forward. It's not necessarily that one's further along than somebody and that's the way it is forever. It's just like we all get to the same destination, which is waking up to all things again. See everything becoming known to all souls again, because we all have access to all information. All the records is within each individual soul. And what people tend to do is they tend to look outside of themselves when literally all of the information, even when you're out of your body, is always within you. That's the records of the beginning of everything. It's all within each soul. And we all go there because that's one of the inevitable event markers within this realm that takes place. Whether if that's through an out of body or inevitably when you die, when you cross over, you will eventually. It's not a matter if you do, it's a matter of when you do it. You will cross over or do it through a controlled out of body state and access all things again. Remember it. But when you leave the body, you have access to all of it. Each thing, everything, all information is contained within your soul. That's from the beginning of all creation, is contained within you. Each individual soul has access to that. AI cannot compare to that which always exists because it just is. AI was created. We were never created. You see what I mean? We were always are, because AI has no influence on is no greater than the soul. I think a lot of people are underneath the misconception that AI is just a collection of each individual person's input here. AI has no influence or dictating over that whatsoever. It's like saying, should we as human beings fear a single ant trying to bite our toe?
So it seems like the ultimate technology is us as creator beings, right? Because, we have physical technologies here, we have the internet, we have all these things that we use, little tools, but they really pale in comparison to the abilities that we have as creator beings.
The technology is a very poor copy of what we can naturally do. This is where you start to look into Project Looking Glass. So Project Looking Glass is a technology that could see potential time events. Now, you could use a piece of machinery to do that, or you could use the natural abilities within your soul when you have the out-of-body state to access thoughts and time. Like we could do that, right? I've done it myself. So when you're, even the telepathic communication forms of cell phones, technology, it's all things that we could do when we stop, when we focus more on ourselves and really trying to awaken those abilities again. Because what happens when you're using so much technology, and I'm using it now, but when you become dependent on that, it sort of shuts down things within your body. Your dormant abilities become dormant, right? That's why they're dormant. It's awakening those dormant abilities. You could say the body is the prison for the soul. So the body has limitations. It has limits on what it can do. Now it's not supposed to be that way, but there's limits. Yeah. So when you leave the body, you are breaking past the veil to access information, the other side, essentially.
With your experience, is it something that anyone can activate and do if they choose to do so? Or do you think it comes naturally easier for some people than others?
It comes naturally for some people, yeah. Some people it's more natural for other people than others. It is easier for others, but everybody could do it as well, even if it's hard or difficult. It's not limited to a demographic, or you need to be some monk that trains for decades to achieve this. All that's the distortion. That's the lie. People would want to convince you, or let's just say all individuals of control, to control you, to keep you in the self-imposed prison. They would want you to believe that this is very difficult. And I've had people do this that has never even done it before. They go through certain principles, certain steps, they pop out.
Yeah.
Every soul will see it again. Will access that. It's sort of you could say, inevitable event that you will access all things again. It's every single soul does. No soul is ever lost or trapped. Everybody returns back home and sees everything. It's just what it is. The first parts of me coming out of my body, I was just accessing dimensional spaces. I was accessing here. We have 12 realms. I was accessing realm 1 here, the earthly realm. This is where you could see things taking place in real time. You come out of your body, you see what's taking place exactly in the environment that you're at. You see people walking around, physically walking around, doing things. I've even taken it as far as having people write things on a whiteboard. I would be in another room, pop out of my body, see what they wrote on the whiteboard, like 4 times in a row, 4 days or 5 days straight.
Oh, wow.
Been very open to even doing experiments, scientific experiments and stuff like that. But it's, I've found by also just doing the experiments with people, getting people to come out of the body with testimonials that they share and stuff as well. I mean, that's as, I could have like 100 testimonials, or like, it's just at what point does it end that it's like truth enough for people, unless somebody does it for themselves.
How much evidence do you need? It's just
exactly.
Going to keep doing it.
For the time when you're out of your body, when you do it at will, you could start to command and demand to access certain things, and they will present themselves to you. And they need to step into a place of empowerment when they do leave the body, because when they command or state something with the spoken word, the universe literally bends at your will, because you will it into creation. You do have a body. You do have your individuality. You never lose your individuality, because your soul, that individual soul of your spark, all my thought processes that I'm having right now, when I leave my body, they stay the same. Everything stays the same. Even when I've been out of my body, it's like it doesn't all just go bam, like all at once. It hasn't for me anyways. It's been like like the longer I've been there, the more I'm like, oh, okay. Like I would ask certain things, and then when I ask certain things, they just come in, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It all just starts to come back to you gradually.
If there's one fear we can extinguish, it's the fear of death. Of course, no one wants to leave too soon, especially when others depend on them. But as we move into the later years of life, that fear shouldn't weigh so heavily. I have a feeling that as more people learn to have out-of-body experiences, OBEs, they'll start putting their affairs in order, making sure their loved ones are cared for. And when the time comes, they won't pass through pain or tragedy. They'll simply slip into an OBE and choose to stay. No suffering, no fear. Just a peaceful transition where everything is as it should be. But let's not forget why we came here in the first place. We didn't come just to wake up and then leave. We came to experience this realm, to bring with us the knowledge of who we truly are beyond this world. And with that awareness, we can create, explore, and enjoy life in ways that aren't dictated by the powers that try to control it. Because in the end, it's not just about the other side. It's about truly living while we're here,